So we ended the season pretty strong. It's a stick shift car. It's pretty violent on some of the parts. Got some cool parts here that was sent to us in the mail that we're gonna be getting installed here on our white car so we can get this shit off the jack stands. Although we've got this car pretty built in the back and got it reinforced pretty well, there's some parts we're gonna have to replace that we broke this past couple of weeks prior to the end of the season that we gotta get fixed and get reinforced again. Since it's the end of the season and the season has changed quite a bit and it's raining and it's snowing soon, we're not real sure if we're even gonna put that axle back in the white car. It might be time for us to start compiling all the good parts that we have so we can get a little bit faster. Now, if you guys remember this axle, we actually built this axle as like a temporary axle for my black car when we had the reinforcements that we were doing on it. We got some other cool reinforcements that we didn't put on that axle that we probably should have when we had it out. And that I'm gonna show you here in a box from Team Z. But first things first, we gotta get the car down, we gotta break the tires loose, we gotta start getting ready to getting all the tools together to get the axle out. So stick around, we got our normal getting our shit off the jack stands video going on right now, and we're about to get busy. Let's go. The one thing I didn't know about these RC-Com lug nuts is there's actually a spacer that goes in. It looks like the bottom half of this, and it goes in and fills this space up because I'm still half-inch on this car. And then you can buy a lug nut that goes over top of the spacer. So it'll fill the space inside, and then you lug nut against it. That way it keeps it from, you know, damaging any part of your wheel. I mean, I had owned these for multiple years and just now started getting them on the car here the last couple months, and I'm pretty excited about them. It's something I didn't know. I mean, my other axles are 5/8, and that's what these are really built for. Let's get these wheels off. We'll get the car up in the air. One thing here at the shop, we always are organized. We keep things in baggies literally everywhere. You can see all my bell housing bolts and all my hardware. I got a bunch of baggies in there. I got a bunch of baggies in here. I tell you what, man, you go to Walmart, get you some hefty baggies. These are like the freezer ones. And this is good for organization. That way you're not looking around and saying, damn it, where did I put that 10mm socket or the last lug nut that we had? Pretty cheap, easy storage. And then when you're ready to put that shit back together, you'll be set to go. And we're just gonna set that over here because the next time we put these wheels on, we'll probably have different brakes in the back. But let me show you the carnage and make it all make sense to you. Now, we were at the end of the year plates and 28s gear banger class, and we were in the stick shift class. We were doing pretty well that day. We went 580, 581, 582, 120, 122, 123 miles an hour. We don't have a whole lot of boost and timing in it to begin with, about 14 and a half, 15 pounds, and only about 15 or 16 degrees. We weren't trying to push the motor that day. But on one of our passes, and I'm pretty sure this happened on the semifinals against Mike Niehaus, as we blew this perch out, and I've never seen this before. This was dangerous. You can see the paint chipping away right there. It must be cracked underneath of this. And we were gonna go test and tune the one day. Kind of good that we didn't actually get there. And you can see it actually bent something happened right here. See the dent on it, like where it got moved? So we're gonna bring the car up, take a closer look at it, and get it actually out of the car and assess the damage that we got to fix. Not catastrophic, but that 100% would have put me in the wall the next pass. Or broke a lot of other shit on top of it. But again, we got some things in the boxes that are gonna fix us up. Big shout to Team Z Motorsports, as it's always been our go-to for a very, very long time. I did want to make mention that we do have some merch for sale over on neomustangs.com. We got the Stick Shift Life stuff that we got recently started making, along with the new shirts with the black car. Pretty cool logo on the back. I got them in sweaters, got them in all different types of colors. Go check it out, support the channel. Yeah, we got pretty lucky there. Yeah, I showed this in my other video, and what we were actually going to do is just maybe push this back up and re-guss it and re-weld it. I don't even know what this second hole's for. I mean, obviously it's for the control arm, but I don't think we've ever used it. Regardless, I'm pretty sure that's a factory location. Not real sure what happened. I don't think I've ever seen that broken before. We'll get the shocks off, the control arms off, and then we'll get it over here on the floor, and I'll show you some of the updates we're going to be doing to it. I don't particularly care for as much. I can feel a little dead spot there in my ARB. I wish they had little grease fittings that I could grease those up. I'm pretty sure Team Z one does, which is nice. It'll keep it nice and lubricated. We'll take more of a look at it when we get it out. We bent that whole thing and broke it. Got all the bolts off and we're ready to go ahead and bring it down. We got some things that need to be addressed on this axle. Some things that's kind of wore out this year. We're gonna have to get replaced. So we got the axle out of the car and it's kind of worse than we had thought. We just put these in this year. These things are wiggling around. I'm gonna go ahead and chop these damn things off. I don't even know why I still have my quad shock mount. It's an old axle. When you're building them from years ago, that's what you get. Go ahead and clearance my calipers a little bit more for my RC comps. We had the longer studs on the backside of my RC comps and dug into my caliper like an idiot, but I didn't realize that I could run these calipers with it. So we're gonna end up clearancing that out. Clean up with some of the welds, but let me show you what in the box, what we're going to be putting on this axle. From Team Z, we got a couple parts that's gonna upgrade and make this axle happen again. So we'll open it up and show you what we got going on. In the last video, we were talking about a bar that we were gonna weld on here, and you can see I got that one that we kind of created or whatever. But this is what Team Z sent me, outside of some cool stickers. They got me the bar again. This will help me kind of line things up. This brace bar's chrome moly and it's like 1/4-inch steel. It's a pretty nice piece. You ain't bending that. Comes with those gussets I was talking about. And on top of the bar, we ordered some brackets. These are like lower, so it replaces this whole shock mount here on the 8.8 axle. I guess if you're gonna build an axle, probably just go ahead and buy these. And these actually clock. You can see they're kind of set a certain way, and they give me different instant center points. And this bar will come over and weld right to it. We'll get this all professionally welded up. But like I said, this comes in a very specific clocked location. So when I'm cutting this bracket off, I gotta make sure I make like little spots, like little alignment spots, so I can match this up right here. And I'll probably just tack this in and then check it. And then I'll take it over and get it professionally, you know, welded up. Same with this brace. We'll just tack it up real quick and do that. But these things are gonna be major pieces. And this side is this side. So when we cut this off, we'll cut this off and make this all nice and updated. Probably end up taking these off and putting our other weight brackets that we made on here, weld it up and be nice. A couple other things we got new for the axle too. To be honest with you, I'm really kind of shocked on how much pad I still have on these rear pads. These things have been through war with me and I don't really even have a lot of warp going on, but from Right Stuff, they sent me a couple drilled and slotted. Now these are kind of heavy, I get it, but we're updating our axle. We're gonna put some regular brake pads on, nothing fancy. There's not a whole lot of brake bias in the back here. I think there's about 25%, 30% if that. But be nice little pieces, something to just make the axle better again. I'm not gonna do the work today. There's a lot of work to be done. Next time we get into this axle, it's gonna be like a brand new axle. We're gonna stay with the 355 gear. We're gonna be replacing these solid spherical upper mounts, cutting the quad shock mounts off, cutting the instant center lower shock brackets off and putting these on, and welding this in to tie it all in, which also welds to the differential cover, so that'll keep it nice and stable. We'll move our weight purchase for no prep. We'll move we got another set that we made that's gonna go up underneath of the bar. Clearance our calipers, throw some brakes in it. This will be a fresh axe. 35 spline, 355 gear, solid shim. I could change the gear ratio if I wanted to. A lot of adjustments to be had, both on the shock and the lower control arm. And if you remember correctly, our coupe has the upper and lower Team Z fully adjustable torque boxes, reinforced, everything's nice, got an anti-roll bar there. So honestly, I don't really know what we're gonna do. It's cost a lot of money to reinforce an axle and to put another gear set in it. I don't know if we're gonna build another one specifically for the coupe or if we're just gonna reinforce this, build this back a little bit better than what it was, and just stick this in the coupe. It makes more sense. It'll give us time to at least get another axle built, and I can always hot swap that out. But there's definitely some updates that need to happen to this axle. We've been beating the shit out of this thing for many years, and I'm just happy that we didn't hit a wall doing it. We've got a lot of work to do, guys. It's getting into the build season for us here in Ohio. We've got a lot of updating we need to do on this axle. We've got to get the coupe out. If you guys enjoyed our sort of content, stay tuned. If you haven't subscribed already, consider subscribing. Check out that join button, become a member of the channel, exclusive content to the channel. Outside of that, I just appreciate you watching. I'll see you soon in the next one.